Hi everyone, welcome to Well Actually, presented by the Mary Sue. We are your Geek Girl guide to the galaxy, talking about a range of topics in film, television, current events, and comics. I'm your host, Princess Weeks.
And I am her sidekick, Rachel Leishman.
And today we're going to be talking to you about X-Men Dark Phoenix.
Ladies and gentlemen of NASA, this is Charles Xavier. Help is on the way.
We're doing space missions now. Cool.
This is the latest movie in the X-Men franchise, and we're going to be talking about all the reasons why it flopped, it failed, and ultimately just let us down. For me, my biggest problem with this movie is that it is supposed to be about Jean. Mm-hmm. Jean Grey in the comics, when we did the Dark Phoenix saga, it was supposed to be a discussion about her character for the past 20 or so years. It was about showing how she went from being Marvel Girl, the token chick on the X-Men team, to finally being like this powerful person who slowly became consumed by this power through manipulation and all kinds of things. It's long, as you can see by the prop I brought in, that is like the entire
600
It's almost
pages.
500 pages of just story, and that's what stuff cut out of it. And they wanted to just synthesize it into this very tiny story where it's all about her plus a dude attached to her. And the same thing happened in The Last Stand, because in The Last Stand, instead of it being about her and to a degree Cyclops, then played by James Marsden, it became all about Wolverine, because those movies were all about Wolverine the entire time. And in this movie, because McAvoy and Fassbender are such big stars, they are forced into a movie that should just be about Jean. And if any guy is going to be a star in this movie with her, it should be Scott Summers. But no one ever gives Cyclops his due because he's a soft, sweet boy.
No, and Ty Sheridan, my fellow Scorpio, is like in this movie for maybe like 20 minutes, which, like you said, if a guy was going to be the main focus with her, it should be him. He's on the cover of the book, like beside her.
Yeah.
And he's kind of in this movie, but kind of not. Like it's everybody else's game.
Mm-hmm. He just gets to drop the big F-bomb. It's like, if you touch her, I will F you up. I'm like, boy, Magneto he doesn't look it, but he's 60 years old and he survived the Holocaust. You ain't gonna do nothing to him. I think one of the people involved with First Class was Matthew Vaughn, and he said that he wanted to do he would have done this in 3 movies. And I think that's really the key, is that this is not a story that can be told in one portion. It is sort of a build upon thing. And that's something that the X-Men franchise has just never really been good at doing. They always want to like make one movie 6 events at once, and there's no time taken to really make you care about these characters, especially the women. The women are the ones who in almost every version have sort of been either downplayed or dismissed or just poorly written at their core.
And I think that is a really big problem just in Hollywood in general, that like these men keep making the same mistakes and telling these same stories that aren't great, when then there are women storytellers who kind of get dismissed in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and it's disappointing, especially because even though we would love to see a woman be involved, and I think Jane Goodman has been involved in like the storyboarding for some of these movies, you can't even say like him being a man is an excuse, because Chris Claremont is one of the most definitive X-Men writers, and he basically took most of the X-Men women and made them like the strongest, best versions of themselves. So it is possible for him to do so. It's his failings as a writer.
Yeah.
And to me, it just boils down to one central thing. If you don't care about the X-women, if you don't appreciate Jean and Storm and Mystique and really see them as fleshed out human characters, you shouldn't be writing X-Men movies, period. And speaking of the X-women, it's time to pour one out to them. So this is our segment, Pour One Out, where we talk about women that have been mistreated and screwed over in the week. And so I want to pour this first one out to the women of the X-Men. They deserved so much better than what they got. Jean, I'm so sorry, girl. Mystique, you got killed during Pride Month, even though you are a queer icon and they will never let you be one. And Storm, maybe one day they will let you do more than wind and lightning. And this is a somewhat personal one for me. So as many of you guys know, Swamp Thing was canceled because of bad filing. That's why paperwork is so important. Please read the documents. And because of that, Crystal Reed, one of my favorite actresses, is out of a job. She was so amazing in Teen Wolf, and she was recently on Gotham, and I love her so much. And I just really wanted her to be in this and do well. And so I'm just personally sad I'm not going to see her on my television screen. And so Crystal, I love you. I wish that these guys were better at filing paperwork, but you know. Cheers.
Cheers.
I needed that. Thank you guys so much for checking out this first episode of Well Actually. We are so excited to have you guys here. And if you want to hear any more of our thoughts on Dark Phoenix, we have written extensively on the topic on the Mary Sue. Extensively. And please tune in next week because we will have a lot more to say about everything that went bad that week because something will absolutely go. Thanks so much.